Hello, beautiful beings. This video is for you if you're on your spiritual path, you're an empath, you're a light worker, a light healer, rainbow warrior, and you are sick of being practical. You are sick of following the rules and you want to kind of branch out. You need to mix things up. You're getting burnt out on just being so analytical and practical and logical. Well, guess what? I'm here to talk to you about nonsense. I've got 3 tips to share with you in areas of your life where nonsense can amplify your energy. Too much practicality makes Jack a dull boy. I think that's from The Shining. I tweaked it a little bit. Anyways, my point is, a lot of us follow these rigid pathways and get so into the structured energy that they forget to have a little nonsense sometimes to play in this energy. I'm going to share a little story before I jump into the 3 ideas that I want to riff on here. I remember when I was in junior high, it's been my life's mission to bring nonsense out into the waking world. And I remember going around, it must have been 7th or 8th grade, and how I dealt with my awkward societal connectiveness, or being out in the community and feeling like an awkward, introverted empath, was to be in energy of nonsense. So when it came time to do our yearbook signings, probably in 7th or 8th grade, I wrote complete off-the-wall little sentences in my people's yearbooks. Like, I think I told one person, I hope you have a beautiful summer, go eat a potato, and I hope sunshine comes out your ears. Or dance around on the curb with your middle fingers and put 2 pieces of paper on your toes. Just off-the-wall things to throw people off. To be silly, to make things more lighthearted, and to have more fun. Because really, when it comes down to it, I've got a secret for you. We get one life in this body, in this specific body, and none of us gets out alive. So why take things so seriously? I mean, I dress for the occasion. All right, so the first tip of how nonsense can really amplify your life is when you bring it connected to the imagination. Now, all things start in the imagination before they're out in this reality. Nothing makes sense until we give it the sense. We don't really know what's going on till we cultivate the idea, till we get passionate about it, till we give it energy, till we feed it, till we give it so much emotional life, love, and inspiration and passion that it becomes alive. It ebbs and flows. So out of the chaos, the nonsense, the wildness comes order. It all comes together. But first, you got to have all that chaotic energy going in where you got to define it. You got to play with it. You got to figure it out. You got to test it out. You got to try this, try that. You got to move through these pathways, and somewhere along the line, sense does make happen. Yes, sense happens. Logic happens. We get that practicality. It comes together. But I feel like it's really part of my life's mission to bring forth the nonsense a few notches, because it's a little bit low on the Richter scale. So our imaginations, we first go to the chaos, the nonsense, and we start percolating. We start playing. Playtime, imagination. It's what so many beautiful films, poems, books, movies come from this. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, the Harry Potter series. They all have characters of nonsense. There's Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter. We're the Lord of the Rings. We've got, the Hobbits, the Elevensies, Second Breakfast, all that kinds of stuff. Who eats that much? Well, some of us do. That's okay. When we're running around, taking adventures, the sense doesn't always make itself. So imagination is number 1, where you bring more of that nonsense in, because it all starts in nonsense. And then we talk about, excuse me, I have some bullet points here. The second one is presence. when we can step out of the ordinary, just structured pathways of thinking and we just are present with the nonsense, that's where we hold space to create more and to expand. That's when we can step out of the box, the framework, and just let it exist. Like, where nonsense really comes through with the presence is laughter. Things coming up into your energy field to throw you off kilter, to stir the pot, to change things up. If you've been stuck in a monotonous daily routines, when something comes to shake you up, you give nonsense the presence, because you were like kind of almost asleep, and then you're like, oh, okay, all right, it's time to mix it up, time to stir it up, because you know what, that's where the cosmic creation comes back. Like, when we get too comfortable, that nonsense comes in and throws us off kilter, stirs the pot, mixes it up, lets us see new elements, lets us learn new things. But we got to pay attention. And also, this is very strong when it comes to just being open to different awarenesses with your presence. When you are thrown off by nonsense, when it throws you off, oftentimes we get irritated and agitated, but that's a good thing, because it's, again, messing with our energy, pushing it around, inviting us to expand. And the third tip that I want to talk about, bringing more nonsense into your life, is the lightheartedness of it. Life is meant to be lighthearted and playful and fun. Not all the time, obviously, because that would get boring too. Anything that we continually do over and over and over again can, be programmed in us and then becomes just normal, until we have a little bit of that nonsense to knock us right off our kilter again. But the lightheartedness is where we come to a place to play, to open up and be in that energy of the child again, and to allow things to not make sense before they make sense, to when they go back to not making sense. You see where I'm going here? I'm playing the Cheshire Cat right now. Up is down and down is up. We have so many dualities that we get to hold in this reality, that nonsense is a perfect thing to come in here and play with us, open us up to bringing more of it in. Because I know a lot of us, we clench onto our routine, what we know, because it's comfortable. And sometimes when people are thrown off, it's hard to get back to center. But when we can bring that lightheartedness in, the laughter, going to do something fun, being playful, that's where I'm at. Got to bring the playful forward. Have fun, see what can happen. Not be afraid to take the risk to be playful and see what goes. Even you could just laugh randomly. See what that does to you in public. I love making a complete ass out of myself sometimes. Sometimes I just need to go out in the world and be that nonsense and see the reactions. It's fun. Some people will love it, and they'll think you're funny, and they'll get a good laugh at you, and they'll compliment you, and other people will run away from you and just try not to look in your direction, like they're embarrassed. Me, that's my comfort zone, is where people feel embarrassed. So that's that lightheartedness, again, because nobody gets out of this life alive. So why take it so seriously? Why be so rigid? Why be so heavy? Bring that playfulness into your heart. Make it light again. Make it that childhood wonder where you look at the sky and it looks new and expansive to you, or look at an object that you've had for a long time and look at it from a different perspective, or use it in a different way. Go out to the stars and just wonder about what's going on there, or maybe just go into your imagination and play and see how you can bring some lightheartedness into your life by being more carefree and more expansive and opened into your heart to allow beautiful things in, to allow that sacred playtime to mix things up and bring something up new for you. When you're in that spot and you are super present in it, you never know what's going to come up. Magic around every corner, because that energy is high vibrational. Anyways, if you've got any questions or comments about this, go ahead and put them down here. I'd love to hear about things that you like to do that are nonsensical, how you pull yourself out of the practical, how you pull yourself out of the linear, how you pull yourself out of the comfort zone or being analytical. I'd like to hear that, because this is a fun place to play with the ideas, and we can always inspire each other. And also, I offer you to subscribe. And if you subscribe, leave a comment, and we can also open up that conversation and see what else can come our way with some complete and utterly beautiful nonsense. I'm open to it. If you want to throw out the most random thing in that comment, I will vibe and ride with it. In fact, I think what I will do is I will post a comment in here that is very nonsensical and see if we can get the nonsensicalness percolating in the comments here on this video. All right, beautiful beings, love and laughter. Thank you so much for showing up. Until the next video.